Welcome back to Solomon's Temple. I am Uncle Solomon. Welcome back again for this exclusive interview with Pastor Enoch Phiri. In the first part of this interview, we heard so much about his call to ministry, his experiences, his divorce, and he took responsibility for his actions that helped him pushed his wife off and getting into divorce. And he also spoke about his children and importantly with his struggle with alcohol. But one of the things that stood out for me in that first part of that interview was so many people who turned him into a leper, like he had leprosy. Because of the divorce, a lot of leaders disengaged from him. Is that how the church should be? If you haven't watched the first part yet, please, I ask that you go back, watch the first part as we dive into the second part. Now, recently, we've seen a lot of beautiful young women, some anointed by God, some self-anointed, calling themselves prophetess, slay queens turning into prophetess. And they're taking over social media, calling for prayers, pajama prayers, also the prayers, carrying Bibles and posting photos, try to convince people that they're a call of God. And unfortunately for Pastor Enoch Phiri, in his quest to find love again and to rebuild his life, he fell into the hands of who I call a Jezebel. She calls herself Prophetess THULI Nkosazana, but she is far from it because from my side as a journalist, I've investigated her and I've received so many complaints around her. But please help me welcome Pastor Phiri again. Good to have you again.
I'm happy to be here again. Thank you.
Now, the first part, you told us about your divorce, and you waited a little while. You got divorced and you married alcohol, and you managed to deal with it. Now, to find love, a partner, you fell into the hands of a certain THULI Nkosazana. Were you really seeking for a life companion, or you were just seeking for fun?
In the first place, before I even go much further, let me put a disclaimer that my ex-wife, she happens to be one of my best friends.
Until now.
Till today.
Yes.
Today. You know, today, if I'm stuck with a car, I can't get hold of my brother. The second person I'll call.
After your brother?
After my brother. It will be Ubusisiwe Phiri. I'll call her. And I'm not apologetic about it. And we have agreed in terms of raising our children, and we are co-parenting our 3 beautiful children, and God has been with both of us. That's the most important thing. Then, yes, I've been seeking love. I've been seeking commitment. You know, when you are in business and you walk back to your empty house, it's really depressing, you know. And though I wasn't like in a hurry where I need to find a woman, but I just felt like I need to meet someone. And I remember I was in the US in a hotel room going through the reels on social media.
Yes.
That's how I came across THULI for the first time. I said, who is this girl? Wow, she's so powerful. And
what made her powerful? Her weaves, her makeup?
Absolutely, it was basically
what the Bible she carries around.
Basically, it was the words that were coming from her mouth.
Okay.
You know, motivational words. You know, then I said, do we have young women in South Africa who can stand for the truth of the gospel? Then I inboxed her. Remember, I inboxed her. Then after a while, but we never met though. I came back to South Africa and we started talking from time to time, not like on a daily basis. Until one afternoon, I was traveling with my daughters, my 2 girls, Taonga and Chisomo. We went to a function where I was invited to present an award, Ingoma Awards.
Yeah.
Only to find that in the same area, she was having a function of, I think it was a gala dinner. Then she asked me to come in and greet the people, you know. That's the first time we met in person. Then I said, no, I'm not dressing, because remember, I'm not dressed up. I was dressing to go dress up
Yeah.
for a big function. And she persuaded me. I went inside and I motivated people. Then afterwards, it was history. We never met again. And the next time we met is when she said to me, in fact, she called me that I'm moving my stuff from Polokwane to Johannesburg. Can you please borrow me one of your vehicles to fetch, like, to be more precise, the bakkie? Then I said, who is this woman? Because I'm very sensitive, especially if I don't know you at that level.
Yes.
I said, why is she asking me? Doesn't she have other people in her life who can help? Then I didn't go. Then few weeks later, she called me. I managed to come here in Joburg. Can we do lunch? Then I proposed Waterfall because I'm closer. This restaurant, it's closer to my house. Then we met there, and I liked what I saw. I liked what I saw, and I said, I like you. And she was saying the right things, talking about God, talking about her background, especially when she said she's also a divorcee. Then I said, I think we can talk the same language and understand. She's a divorcee. She serves the Lord.
That's what she told you.
Absolutely.
But she, on record, legally, she wasn't
Absolutely.
a divorcee.
Yes.
Still married.
Yeah. Of course, I only got to know about that later afterwards.
Now, were you lonely? Were you seeking companionship with a female at that point, or it was just a case of friendship?
First and foremost, I really needed friendship with her. I needed friendship with her. I wouldn't say I was lonely. I have a very colorful life. A lot of activities in my life. But there are moments where just you need a companion of somebody whom you can call my baby, my girl, my love. You know what I'm saying? So to that extent, yes. And also at the same time, a friendship, a meaningful friendship, which will build something meaningful, like a lifetime commitment eventually. Yes, I've been looking for that, and I found at that moment that actually this is what I've been looking for. Yeah.
What was the main attraction for you that you feel, you said you liked what you saw.
Yes.
But what was the main attraction?
The main attraction, first and foremost, was, there are beautiful women everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, locally and internationally, there are beautiful women everywhere. But content at that moment matters to me. What does she believe in? What are her ethos? And beauty became like a big added value to what I was looking for. So, you know what, this is the bonus. This girl, she has God, she has Jesus, she has brains, and above all, she has beauty. Let's go.
And you ask her out, you started a relationship.
Yes.
And were there any red flags, something that you saw that right now you reflect and say, I saw quite a bit of this?
Yeah.
Because who we have now talking to you right now is a contrast from what you was telling me about her. Because what I discovered about her was totally somebody who is a deceptor of note, a narcissist, a hypocrite, sadly, masquerading as a prophetess. Did you notice was there anything that you saw that on hindsight now you can look back and say, look, hey.
You know what is strange? Because I think in those days I was very busy with shootings and work. So I couldn't see at the face value until my daughter, when she couldn't get hold of me at one moment, then she just came to my apartment and there she was. And she said, Daddy, please wake up. I need to talk to you. And she sounded very disrespectful. And I tried to call her to order.
Your daughter?
My daughter, Taonga, my firstborn. Then I need to talk to you now. You are in danger. I need to talk to you now. Then we went to another room. Then she gave me pieces of what THULI is all about. She told me that she's got information of this woman. She's not the person that you think she is. So this is the first confrontation that THULI had with my daughter. And it was bad. I had to calm her down. Then THULI was forced to leave my place. And I was so shocked to discover that actually in my other room, the whole wardrobe was filled with her clothes. She has literally moved in.
How?
I didn't know how the clothes were coming by.
Was she sleeping in your house?
That time she was.
Were you guys having sex?
No.
But she was comfortable in your place?
Yeah, she was comfortable in my place. She was coming there she said she wanted to do content for her business.
Photos, videos, so she need to change.
Yeah.
But then she created a whole wardrobe, basically.
Absolutely. Then I spoke to her the following day about it. I said, no, let's talk, let's engage.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to rush into the conclusions based on the information which my daughter gave me. I said to her, let's talk.
What information did your daughter give you?
That she was a married woman.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a married woman, number one. And number two.
But she had told you she's a divorcee.
Yes.
Okay.
And number two, there is a doctor in Pulukwane where she's coming from who is crying like a baby. And there are also allegations that have taken a married woman from another man. This is very embarrassing.
Yeah.
After you fought all these battles over the years, and here you are trying to heal, recover, so that to move forward, then to be found in the scandal that you have stolen a woman from another man is something else. So I said to THULI, let's engage, let's talk about it. She denied all those allegations. And furthermore, then I said to her, I've seen that there's clothes in my apartment, and I don't know what are your values where marriage is concerned. I don't believe in people living together before they are married. I would love you to leave. Then she refused. Until my daughter came back again, picked up her clothes, put them in the black bag, and we ferried them to her place. By then, I had known the kind of a person that I was dealing with. And from time to time, she would say, I know so much about you. I would destroy you. Because she would go in.
So she was threatening you, basically.
Yeah, she would go in my phone and took some of the pictures where I was compromisedly drunk. The drinking, which I never refused. Even I remember talking about it was on Moja Love. I spoke about it.
Yes.
I spoke about my problem because it's not about, you see, somebody once said to me, Pastor Peter, you are an embarrassment to the gospel. I said, yes, I am an embarrassment to the gospel. Hence, I'm not here to protect the gospel. I said, hence, I'm not here to protect myself. I'm here to protect the gospel. Hence, I have to speak the truth. Because there's this notion you need to protect yourself as a man of God. From what? If I'm in a mess, I'm in a mess.
Yeah.
If I need help, I need help. So there were a lot of videos which she had come across in my phone. Of course, she used my phone without my permission, and she would threaten me. I'll expose you. Now, at the first time she spoke about, I'll expose you, I'll destroy you, I thought she was maybe talking about business contracts, business deals, or individuals or personalities in government or in public sector that she has seen who are compromised. I didn't know. So it took me a little bit longer because I wanted to assess what is it that you have on me, which are using as a threat to destroy me. So this made us to talk about this thing. In fact, let me say, this made me to suspend the discussions over the issue because I believe in the principle of slow puncture, to say, okay, fine, she's going to disappear slowly. I'm going to do it nicodemously. And I'm also going to use the same principle that Joseph wanted to use on Mary because I don't want to really go into so much details and so forth. Until one day she phoned me. Hey, we've got a funeral at the house. And she was crying. She was crying and sobbing.
Yeah.
Then I sent my driver to fetch her. I don't drive around fetching people. I fetch my driver to fetch her and bring her to my apartment. And she was crying, sobbing.
Profusely.
I asked what was wrong. Said, my brother has been kidnapped and they are asking for a ransom. So we don't know where my brother is. And somebody, when they are crying at that level like that, it breaks you even. So then all I did was to hug her, just to hold her, Then that very day I left. I went for a shoot, which was an overnight shoot. Came back the following day. We said goodbyes. She left. Then she called me, oh, my brother is no more. He's been shot dead. She was crying. And we asked, how can we help? How can we reach out to you? Then at that moment, Christian families in South Africa, if you come from these black communities, there are evening services after the funeral, or when there's a funeral rather, there are evening services. And I and my brother, who is a bishop, we inquired, when are the services? We want to come and offer condolences.
For her brother.
For her brother.
Now, I must confess, and I must tell you guys, that brother she's talking about is actually, he was her boyfriend. Someone who had a live-in partner, a woman who has a baby for him. They live together. And she now went into a relationship with him because partially she works in a car dealership. And he went to buy a car. And he is a notorious criminal. He was a Zama kingpin. He was like an illegal miner. He was like a leader of a gang that does illegal mining in Johannesburg. You can go Google him. Just Google Kingpin Sichaba. You're going to find a lot of information with him. He was kidnapped by a rival gang, and then he was later on, killed. Just to put that out there. But she presented to you the fact that he is my brother. Absolutely.
And I went to the funeral.
So you went to the funeral?
I went to the funeral with my brother, who is a bishop.
To support her?
To support her.
You had no idea
I had no idea.
She was in a relationship?
Not at all.
Matter of fact, his lived-in lover, who had a baby for him, they lived together, got in touch with me. I don't know her from anywhere. But she told me the story of how THULI was pregnant with a baby, fell in love with this criminal kingpin, and she was sleeping with him while she was pregnant. She was a psycho to go to their house, try to harass this lady. It's messy. But here you are. You had a different script.
Absolutely. The experience was very tormenting because you need to understand.
No, finish up with the fact that you went to the funeral.
Oh, yes. I went to the funeral. I went to the funeral with my brother. And everything was strange because usually when you go to a funeral, because a lot of people there recognized me. No, Pastor, thank you for coming to support. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And so we were trying to find out where are the parents or the family of THULI.
To understand the relationship.
To understand.
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, we were not even curious to find out about the deceased.
But to give your condolences.
Just to give our condolences. And we found none. Right at the funeral, she said, I'll call you back, jumped into the car and disappeared. And me and Edwin, my bishop brother, we said, and then? What's happening? We were left at the graveyard.
From what I heard from these guys, these criminal guys, this kingpin's girlfriend who had a baby for him, was telling me THULI came to the funeral and she was crying profusely. She was like, can you believe it, Solomon? She was acting. She was acting like so poorly. The way she was crying and sympathizing, but she was there. She saw her.
Yeah. That funeral I can confirm I attended it.
So she's using you then?
Yes.
Around that?
Yes.
She manipulating you.
Absolutely.
To meet certain of her needs?
Absolutely.
And you guys left after she told you guys she...
Yeah. They said, after the funeral, my brother loves food. So it says, after the funeral, there's this couch of eating. Where do we go and eat? So we didn't even know where the address is. And we went to one restaurant somewhere in Southgate. In fact, I was shooting actually in Southgate. after the funeral, I was going to go for a shoot because I've been very busy with different TV productions. So when we go there, she called us, "Are you guys okay?" Yeah, we're okay. Now, to make a long story short, then I called her. "THULI, I want to talk to you. There are two important things I want to talk to you and address. Number one, your pending marriage. Number two, these revelations about this gentleman, the kingpin, who was shot dead by the rival group, whom you claim that was your brother. I've been told is not your brother. That is your lover." She was so angry with me. She slammed the door of my apartment and locked my bedroom, and she drove off. For 2 weeks, I had no access to my room.
She took the keys with
She
her.
took the keys with. So I had two options. Option number one is to go to the police station, because one of my members in the church is a police captain. He told me that you can still lay a charge of somebody taking the key on false pretense. Then I said, I don't want things to go bad, to go to that extent. Let me find means and ways of how I can have my keys back. You know, my brother, Bishop Eddie, tried to negotiate, because at this level, I was afraid even of engaging her, because she's got tendencies of recording you when you talk, so that when she shows to people, you sound as though there's something wrong with you. So they understood how she operates. Then my brother continued to beg her to bring the keys back, and she didn't. Until one day, she said she wants to bring the keys back. And she brought the keys back, of course, because the door was open, but my bedroom was still closed. Locked, rather. Then I said, okay, fine. May I have the keys? Good to know she doesn't want to give my keys. She wants us to talk. Okay? She wants us to talk about us. I said, no, I don't want to talk about us. Let's address the issue first of your lover, whom I came to the funeral, which I attended, and you told me that it was your brother. Secondly, let's address the issue of the pending marriage, which you have. I met you, I was open, that I'm divorced. The Home Affairs records show that I'm divorced. Your Home Affairs record shows that you are still married. And to a certain extent, your husband, whom you are legally married to, can even sue me for marriage interference.
Yes.
I said to her, if you don't want to talk about it, give me the keys, then you will talk to me about it when you are ready. Then she locked the door. Now, she has kept me now in the house and put the keys in her private parts. I was held hostage.
That's a lot of drama.
I was held hostage in my own apartment between 4 to 5 hours. Then she was busy on the phone. Every time I want to open my mouth, she would press the record button, wanting to record me. Then I would keep quiet. Then for some reason, I stood up, banged my door, because I live in a clustered apartments. My neighbors had called the security that there's something wrong. So when the security came out the door, they heard me screaming, and they knew that there's perhaps some domestic violence. So as it is their procedure, they called the police to come. By the way, when the security were at the door, she opened the door and she opened the door, took the stuff that she had at the sofa and left, and went even still with the keys of my room, my bedroom. She never left the keys of the bedroom. She went with the keys. Then I said, here, I've got a problem now. You know, and you know, a little drama causes a lot of drama if you're in a public space. The media were calling. And I had to tell the truth to the media what was going on, because this time around I can't do PR. I just said, you know what? I've got a woman here who happened to my girlfriend, and I've broken up with her because the truth was not told. What she does, the following day, she sends videos of mine to a lady that I respect very well. Perseverance. They call her Madam Speak. I respect that woman.
A YouTuber.
On YouTube.
Yes.
She posted everything, negativity about me. Even
did the Madam Speaker try to reach out to you to get your side of the story?
No, she didn't.
She never did.
She never. Okay. I even sent her a message, and I said to her, I've got the message, I'm going to share it with you. I said, ma'am, I have a right of reply. You know,
Yes.
I'm in the media.
Yes. There's a right of
This is
reply.
my life.
Yes.
You can never publish a story without giving the other person the right.
Even if you do publish the story and the person comes forward and they want their own side of the story to be told, you cannot deny them that opportunity
Absolutely.
to reply.
Absolutely. So, by the way, Madam Speaker, I still respect her. I love her content. I respect her, but I don't know what went wrong. But I can tell you, THULI is very manipulative.
Indeed.
She's very manipulative. My relationship never even survived 6 months, to be honest with you. And in these 6 months, we have maybe only met 3 or 4 times. And within 6 months and 4 times of our encounters, I've seen and heard a lot of things. You know, I'm a preacher, and when you are a preacher or you're a pastor, listening becomes one of your skills. Stories change anytime without notice. So a lot has been happening, and I can tell you that because I'm in a public space, and remember in South Africa, if a woman cries, everyone points at a man.
Right.
So I've been in the situation whereby, what do I do? Whom do I talk to? You know, even when I spoke to my lawyer said to me, if we have to follow the processes, this story can, the processes can take 6 months or, 3 years, or even, I said, all I need is my key to my apartment, and all I need is for THULI to stop lying about me. You know, like she's been lying because she saw messages of my ex-wife in my phone. She doesn't even understand the context, and she went even further to insult her. You don't insult the mother of my children. You don't. You can't do that. You know, even if there was a way that we can resolve issues, you can't insult my daughter, and you can't insult my ex-wife. You can't do that. And you can't even insult females that you are suspecting to be going out with me who are in my life. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't, because on my phone, I don't have a pin. I can't lie to you, Uncle Solomon. There were women that I've spoken to, chatted with, you know, trying to see who are they and so forth, like for the past few months even. You understand? She went to each one's number and started insulting them. And these people calling me, Pastor Peter, what have we done? We have been insulted by the prophetess. I said, hey, that prophetess is no longer part of me. If you want to sue her or engage her further, do it, and I'll give you a blessing. So this is where we are.
There was
currently.
Accusation of your relationship with a gospel artist, a female gospel artist.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Gugu.
What's that all about?
You remember Gugu has been in my life, and she's been one
she
of
used
my.
to come to your church a lot to minister back in Soweto.
Absolutely. And I met Gugu through Brayu Masikela. And Brayu Masikela gave me a blessing that, you know what, mentor this child. She needs help, both in the music space as well as life in general. And Gugu, I can tell you, even in my darkest moments, she was there for me. In my darkest moments, she would stand with me and finding her pictures in my phone. In fact, the picture that irritated her was when I went to Metro FM. I was having an interview with Faith Mangope, and Gugu was there taking pictures, and she took a selfie of herself. And then she even called her father to insult her, and claimed that I'm sleeping with her. I don't know where she got information, started digging about her life and so forth. And I said to her, look, in the first place, I'm a very single man. I'm not married. I asked you questions about their relationship with both the deceased and the man who's still alive, who's your husband. Now you want now to push me in a place where I must sound as though I'm guilty of cheating. Cheating on who? Because between me and THULI, it wasn't, I wouldn't even call it a relationship. I've never even met her mother. Because I'm a black man, I'm an African man. If I'm interested in you and we have to take this relationship to another level, I'll talk to my family. And my family will make arrangements of coming to you, to your family, and talk to your family. I know no one from THULI's family except one lady, Nikki, whom she said is her sister. And they came to my apartment.
She's not her sister. They are both prophetic criminals. Both of them.
I don't know.
I have investigated them in Bloemfontein, Durban, and in PE, Port Elizabeth. Some of the scandals that they caused there, the deception that they created. THULI was married, have a baby, have 2 kids from 2 different men, and she jumps from one man to another. And I can tell you, she's the kind of woman that would be simultaneously dating 3 different men at the same time. I've had from one of her ex-boyfriend in Bloemfontein, who she was engaged with. He actually called her mother, and her mother said, "Look, stay away from THULI. THULI will destroy you." So you got a mother THULI saying that about her daughter to a potential husband.
I've asked THULI, may I meet your mother? Can I meet your mother or anybody from your family? Then she says the only person from the family at the moment who could meet you is the brother who has died. At the moment, just wait until we have finished mourning, then I can engage.
But our parents are just around the corner here in Randfontein, which is part of, Johannesburg. But quickly, the last drama that happened, she also accused you of getting her pregnant. Just in trying to, what was that all about? Because I had spoken to one of her ex-boyfriends who said the same thing. It's like, look, that's the way she operates. If she wants to keep you, she now accuse you, or she now comes out to say, I'm pregnant. She did the same thing to him, told his mother. The mother said, if you're pregnant, then, let's wait and see the baby. Then we're going to take responsibility for it. And then I have the man who is a prophet actually said, I'd never slept with her. How can she be pregnant for me?
With me, her accusation is that I was drunk. Now, you see, because...
So you were drunk when you got her pregnant?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was drunk when I got her pregnant, and she says she's got proof of videos while I'm staggering and drunk. Now, you see, you can't use old videos of a man who confessed even at his weakness. I confessed over my weaknesses. Yeah. And I can't even stand here and lie about my weaknesses. But you see, the thing that I'll remember, ask my family, even my daughters, even my ex-wife, they'll testify to that. I'm not the kind of a person who would say, I'm sorry for what I did because I can't remember. So according to her, when I was drunk, I made her pregnant. It's just confused. So it's like one drama upon another drama. Yeah. And the only thing that she has to prove is there's one video which she posted on YouTube where I look drunk. Yeah. Then she says, can you see? This is what I'm talking about. Then people who are sympathizers, they start attacking me and they start feeling sorry for her. So this is the mess that we're sitting on, my brother. And when you invited me to come for this interview, I did not hesitate because I believe in your integrity, and I know over the years, in fact, you have criticized me in the past. You have attacked me in the past.
I've spoken about your relationship with alcohol, your relationship with your wife.
In fact, you warned me about THULI.
Yes.
So I've got nothing to hide, sir.
So in conclusion, what are the lessons for you now? And where do you go from here? A lot of people might be, interested in looking at you and say, look, hey, you can start all over again. You can rebuild. You just need to be careful next time. You can make different choices and decisions and all that. But for you personally, is that chapter with her closed? Totally.
Obviously.
Because for somebody like that who's a narcissist, she will keep harassing you or look for ways to get your attention. They ride on attention, aggressive attention. And so what's the plan around that?
Number one, I've decided to ignore her. I'm not going to entertain her. And if she decides to come to my office or the church, we'll call the cops on her. Thirdly, the biggest lesson that I've learned is that don't be too lonely to an extent where you don't hear God.
Right.
And all I needed was a companion, somebody that I can celebrate my achievements with, somebody that I can talk to at my lowest, somebody that I can share life with from time to time, you know. And though I wasn't really rushing into marriage, because that's a very big step, especially when I'm raising teenagers. It has to be done in a way that I've got a blessing both from my family, parents, as well as from my children, because like Taonga, she's over 21, she's almost 22 this year. So
Yes.
she's an adult, and she is one of those people that I can say loves me unconditionally, not because of what they can get from me or what I have done, but just because of being a father in their life. So it's a very big step. I really needed one to know her, go step by step until we fully get to a point where we can say, let's call it husband and wife. Unfortunately, she wanted to do things quick because my daughter runs my finances.
Yeah.
She actually wanted her to be removed from that account. And I got this from my brother, my bishop brother. He said to me, this is what she said, "Somkhupha lo mntwana, siyamkhupha lo mntwana." That's what I'm saying. So, and one of the things that I actually learned, one of her modus of operandi, she'll make you fight with people that have been in your life for a long time so that she can take charge of your life and lead you to be slaughtered like a sheep without a shepherd.
Pastor Piri, thank you so much for your vulnerability and for your openness. And there's quite a lot of lessons to learn.
Absolutely.
You know, we just pray that, you know, it will not be the same mistake over and over
Not
again.
at all.
But I know God will give you the ability and the grace for you to be able to move on. So thank you so much for granting me this interview and just being naked and not ashamed. This is who I am. The only person I trust is God. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. The beauty of Christianity is when we actually trust God more, in spite of our imperfection. You know, grace is always there, no matter how much we fall. Thank you so much. Join me again next time.